let's talk about Andrew Tate.
Oh God, that's a conversation.
So, Andrew Tate is being investigated in Romania right now for charges of sex trafficking. And I've noticed this weird phenomenon with my audience where a lot of them seem to be, or a lot of you guys have brain cells 98% of the time. And then I see that apparently I have like a contingency of people who actually like Andrew Tate who also follow me. Because I guess they just saw me go at somebody and they're like, oh, this kid knows what he's talking about. And they just followed me because they saw me take someone down, but they didn't realize that that also comes with a set of beliefs that I hold that would be directly contradictory to anything Andrew Tate has to stand for.
I like what you say and like what you do.
So I've posted it. I've posted videos about them. I posted one recently. Can someone please explain to me how in the past couple years, the top two voices for getting girls and being a high-value man is somebody who's being investigated for sex trafficking and someone who watched their girlfriend get fucked right in front of them? Let me say it again. The top two voices for getting girls and being a high-valued man is someone who watched their girl get railed in front of him and someone who's getting investigated in a foreign country for sex trafficking charges. How the fuck did y'all let this happen? So, like I was saying, when you think about Andrew Tate and you think about Sneako, which are two of some of the biggest voices when it comes to the Manosphere and the red pill stuff or whatever, Sneako would talk openly about how he used to go to these things called swinger parties where basically you just hook up with people or whatever, and he used to tell this story about how he watched his girlfriend get in front of him, and it brought him trauma or whatever, and he used to be open about this. And me personally, I could never do that. I am not built for that. I don't have the facilities for that. I could not go to a party where I knew someone else was going to be having sex with my girlfriend in front of me, no matter who else I'm having sex with. Can't do it. It's just not for me. And I wouldn't hate on anybody for doing that because everyone has their own sexuality. Everyone can express that in different ways. That has nothing to do with me. But when you're someone like Sneako who preaches all this hyper-masculine stuff, all this you as a man should go out to have sex with whoever you want while your woman stays in the house and just be barefoot and pregnant and crying or whatever. When you preach that and you hate on other people's relationships, you talk about how people are bots, you talk about how someone's girl is ugly, all this, da-da-da. You better for damn sure come correct when it comes to your credentials. And if your credentials involve you having trauma for someone having sex with your girlfriend right in front of you, you are the last human being on the planet to criticize anybody about their sexuality. If he was cool with it, and he was open with it, and he just did that stuff because that's just the stuff he into, then he could come out and be open about that. But he resents that part of himself. And you can tell he resents that part of himself and that segment of his history because of how antagonistic he is to anybody who deviates from what he considers is the sexual norm or the norm when it comes to men-women relations, because he assumes that it's a good thing that for all of world history, or for a lot of world history, women were literal property who couldn't leave their husband, which is why husbands had multiple wives. But when it comes to his perspective, it's just crazy to me how the man who's so loud about how everyone else's relationships are trash and people who are monogamous really don't want to admit that they just want to go and fuck around, literally watch his girlfriend get pounded. So, I mean, cool. There's nothing else you can say at that point. What's his face? What's his name? Oh my god, that streamer, or that popular streamer that just went back and forth with Sneako the other day. They all thought converting to Islam helped their case, which is hilarious because they thought that converting to Islam means, I just get to have all these wives, which none of them have, and Andrew Tate still does incredibly haram shit. Sex trafficking. He was running casinos, which you cannot do according to the Quran. And and there are actually human beings out here who think that they're genuinely Muslim now, but that's besides the point. Most critical. They went back and forth, and fucking hell, Sneako got eviscerated. But it's just, when I was watching that, it's just like, damn, there's nothing you can say. You can't say anything now. You just can't. you could talk shit about anybody, and Sneako, because they were going back and forth, and Sneako has the temper of a 4-year-old. He was dancing around in his camera, waving his gun around, threatening to shoot him. Most critical for talking about him. And it's funny, when you handle things with that temperament, you just make people want to talk shit about you. You realistically can't say shit to anybody ever again, especially not most critical. Because you literally watch your girlfriend get I'm not taking any relationship advice from you if you couldn't even live up to your own standards. And not to mention that what he preaches to everybody is detrimental to men anyway. So, in response to that, I had some lacking of brain cells people in the... let's see if I can find any here. I can't believe there are people who don't know who Sneako is. God bless your soul, because I was a happy person before I found out how dumb these people are. People would always be like, some people would say, oh, the second one's wild, or I don't know about the first one, but the second one. And it's funny because a lot of people, oh yeah, I respect your intellect, young man, but Andrew Tate is being targeted. It's history repeating itself. Let me make something abundantly clear right fucking now. If you watch Andrew Tate or Sneako or you're a red pillar, do not ever invoke the names of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, or any other civil rights leader at any point in history. They walk this fine line, these red pill types, especially Sneako and all of them, where they have to be woke on racial justice issues because a lot of the people who watch them are black and young black teens, and a lot of the people who are rampantly misogynist and who follow that motto are younger people who may be in tune to racial justice stuff due to stuff like George Floyd and everything in Black Lives Matter, but they think everything is a conspiracy and they especially don't like women. So you walk this fine line where you have to be conservative on literally every single issue except for anything that has to do with black people. So in the same vein as you putting down a minority in women, you try to gain favor with another minority in black people as if that is a recipe that anyone that you guys invoke would agree with. Yes, because Malcolm X and Martin Luther King would very much agree with you putting down women in the same breath as trying to gain favor and say the black people should keep fighting for their rights. There's literally clips that was shown in I forgot the name of this YouTuber, but he made like an hour something video about Sneako and how dumb he is, where he said that women have more rights than at any point at any point in history. And then the person next to him goes, well, so do black people. Does that mean that they should stop fighting? And Sneako goes dead silent. And he's like, well, race is just based in hatred. The gender roles and stuff, that's biology. Well, no, it's not, because gender isn't biology. Gender has a heavy correlation to biological people or the biology of the people who exude those roles, because that's how we've been socialized to express ourselves in today's society, but it's not based in biography. So they have to walk this fine line where it's like, I'm going to be, mind you, and a lot of them are colorists too, because a lot of them don't like black women. So I gotta be anti-black women. I gotta be anti-left anything when it comes to like talking about rights for trans people, rights for gay people, rights for women, anything. But on the one issue I'm going to sound like I'm coherent about is going to be black issues. And the way they do this is to say that stuff like Andrew Tate being investigated, the reason why they say, I don't know, but he's being targeted, is they try to go to this argumentation where they say, well, Martin Luther King was getting investigated by the FBI and the CIA. He didn't do anything. These black civil rights leaders were having their wires tapped, and you think that the government's just okay and not doing anything to mess with Andrew Tate? First of all, provide me evidence that any of that shit is going on with Andrew Tate whatsoever. If you're going to tell me, well, they're not going to have the evidence because they're covering it up, you're just being a conspiracy theorist, and the time for me to believe that that's happening to Andrew Tate is when evidence is provided. Second of all, don't have the gall or the audacity to try to compare Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or any civil rights leader that got investigated for unrelated charges to try to damage their credibility to Andrew Tate, who's been on camera bragging for the better part of multiple years about how he ran this cam business. He got women to fall in love with him. He had his bottom bitch, which is literally a pimp term, convinced these women to do work with Andrew Tate, even though they were not a part of the industry beforehand. And then you lie, and then he literally is on camera saying he lied to them, would tell them that he's splitting the fare 50-50 after they do their work, but then lie to them and actually take 70 and say that he's just paying more on taxes even though he doesn't, and women are too dumb to figure it out. So they just gave him more money, which is tax fraud. So you're trying to make an equivalence between Martin Luther King being wiretapped because the CIA thought that he was a threat, and Andrew Tate, someone who's been bragging about sex trafficking, being a sex trafficker. They tried to get Martin Luther King on, like, adultery, which isn't a crime. They just tried to do a reputation attack. Sex trafficking is a literal fucking crime that Andrew Tate has been on camera all but admitting to multiple times. So don't bring me this bullshit in an attempt to stay woke about black issues where you try to say they're crucifying them just like they did our civil rights leaders. No. No, the fuck they're not. Because Andrew Tate being brought up on charges that he's all but admitting to in a foreign court system is not the same as the atrocities that was committed against people like MLK in the American government. Don't fucking start with me. But, nevertheless, there are idiots who are saying that. So, a lot of people were convinced on how silly Sneako was. They weren't convinced on what the hell's going on with Andrew Tate. And someone in particular said it came out that all the women were lying about what they accused Andrew Tate of, and this is just all a witch hunt, and the evidence came out. So I told this person to link me what evidence they were talking about, and they sent me to a YouTube channel. Is this the most credible source? No. But we're going to watch the video anyway and go over it and see if we can figure out what evidence this person is talking about. Because according to this, new evidence in Andrew Tate case shows women trying to get on Netflix. Not sure what this means in the fact that, or the allegation that they're all lying, but we'll see.
Accomplish phase one, purchasing the property. So let's get into this, Dylan. Yeah. Let's get into this story.
So earlier today, some documents were released that...
Go back.
Earlier today, some documents were released that were text messages from the two supposed victims that came out. One was the Moldovan that we've already covered, and the American. And if you look over those text messages, you could see how not only did they plot to frame the Tate brothers, they rehearsed it. Going over what to say, how to look, how to cry, and how to play dumb. They even made a joke 2 days before the raid happened, how their performance deserved an Oscar, that they were going to get a Netflix documentary out of all of this, saying things such as, and I quote, "You're such a great actress." To which the other girls said, "I practiced," quote unquote. Their performance was so good that even their own parents called the U.S. Embassy and were freaking out. And the girls got upset with their parents.
God damn all them chips! They came here with 8 chips and 2 iced teas, you big bastard. Anyway, and cosmic brownies. 2 cosmic brownies.
That's it.
You big body. Getting back to the
This
video.
is nothing new. You know this already. Every time I leave around 10, 11.
Look, I know
12,
you don't.
I raid the freezer.
Tristan doesn't really care. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave. Blank are in love. They will run back. Da da da. I can't wait to look all of this context.
So it seems that while the mainstream media and the police are saying that the Tate brothers used the lover boy method, actually what happened was these girls acted as if they were in love with the Tate brothers so that they could secretly milk it and get as much money and influence and have people talking about them as they could. So my question is this: how long have the police had access to these documents? I mean, they were already wiretapping the Tate brothers for the past 10 months. For 10 months, the police have tried to bury the CCTV footage that proves the Tate brothers' innocence. And yes, I know what you're thinking. These text messages have already been verified. They're 100% true. But hey, I don't want to just tell you. I want you to actually go and see it for yourself. Check out the article. Come to your own conclusion. Use your own...
Cool. Hopefully they link the article below. This is an 18-minute video. Even if this were absolute this lunacy were true, which is so obvious, there was more than 2 victims. A, there were more than 2 victims, and B, if these, the reason why you always need to read what people are saying that they're reading to you is because if this were the case, they had access to these documents. You cannot hold people in jail, in a Romanian jail in particular, if you do not have any evidence to provide to a judge that shows that they are liable to be, or it's reasonable that they should be held in prison, which means if these text messages really exonerated them to the point where they're scamming and scheming all this to try to frame Andrew Tate, they wouldn't have been arrested. They literally wouldn't have been arrested. But they casually did not link the source of this video here. So we're gonna do some research.
I sat down on the bench. I looked at the score. I'm like, I'm not losing this game. I'm not losing it.
Romanian prosecutors, Romanian prosecutors have previously publicly stated that the case involved accusations of rape of the 67-page court ruling that ordered Tate and his brother Tristan into administrative detention in late December. Details charges prosecutors are investigating against brothers, 2 Romanian women accused. All 4 were arrested. Human trafficking charges. All 4 arrested in December on suspicion of human trafficking and organizing criminal enterprise, and held as investigation continued. None have been formally charged, but prosecutors have outlined the specific crimes that there is a reasonable suspicion that each defendant has committed according to the court ruling. Their lawyers say the fact they have not been charged shows a lack of evidence and argue their continued detention violates their human rights. In closed court sessions, Tate's lawyers have said the sex was consensual, according to their court order. Tina Glandian, who has represented celebrities including Mike Tyson, Chris Brown, and... You represented Chris Brown? Tate's lawyer... Yeah, that's crazy. The person who's getting booked on human trafficking has a lawyer that has also represented the woman beater. That's crazy. Yo ass came in the camera like, That's his favorite artist, by the way.
It's one of them.
Okay.
Michael Jackson is always up there.
Okay.
It's always number 1. And just because I enjoy Chris Breezy does not mean I condone what he did.
Joined the Tate's legal team this week. Proceedings are close. She cannot specific evidence. It speaks volumes that they haven't been charged yet, blah, 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 which is funny because it doesn't, because that's literally code in Romania where you can be held without charges for up to 180 days, and they keep showing enough evidence to the judge that extends their stay in prison or whatever while they're wrapping up their investigation. So it doesn't speak volumes that they haven't been charged yet, because you don't want to charge as soon as the fucking investigation starts. It's dumb. Then you search the residences, sees Tate, former champion kickboxer, blah, blah, blah. Tate is accusing of exerting psychological and verbal pressure to force the women to have sex with him, with 2 other women at the hotel. Prosecutors said, according to the court order, the second alleged rape occurred 11 days later when Tate used physical violence and psychological verbal pressure to force the women into intercourse. Extensive WhatsApp conversations between Tate and the woman in London and Tristan Tate, an American woman he's being investigated for trafficking from the United States, are also included in the file, as well as references to statements from the women to Romanian authorities. The messages were reproduced in the file in Romanian, but have been translated to English by the Post and have not been independently verified. According to that person in the video, they are verified, though. Prosecutors have said the messages are evidence of method used by the brothers to gain the trust of victims, and they manipulated by posing as affectionate, honest people. So keep in mind, this video said that it looked like the women were acting like they were in love with them to milk them and try to frame them. Do they link to the In the messages in the court order, Tate explained to the woman that he had used a webcam business to launder... What?! The woman raised concerns about Tate's work after seeing his online videos, according to prosecution statements in the court order. It's unclear from the document exactly what videos are being referenced, but the controversial social media influencer has spoken openly on YouTube about videos on how he makes money from women doing sexual performances online. In the messages in the court order, Tate explained to the woman that he had used a webcam business to launder money, which money laundering is a crime, and that he also started teaching men to start their own... it's all a cover, he wrote, assuring her she could trust him. He told the victim that he'd meet her in Romania after taking care of some work in Prague, and spoke about the prospect of marriage, which is the lover boy method. I want to know that you're determined, serious about marriage, Tate stated in one message in court order. Yes, I am serious, the woman replied. After arriving in Romania, the prosecutor said the victims were brought to a property where Tate produced internet pornography. I'm in the house with the Moldovan woman, messaged Tate. According to the court order, I feel a bit strange. I wish you'd tell it like it is so I know what's going on. What do these girls do exactly? According to the court order, Tate replied that the women in the house work for OnlyFans, an internet subscription service used extensively by sex workers. I mean, do they undress and stuff or something else? The woman responded. No, just a bikini. And the woman wore... No, just a bikini, Tate wrote, and underwear. I thought I would come here and live with you, she wrote the next day. It's a little strange to have you put me with the girls who work for you. The victims who were coerced into producing internet pornography after effectively being turned into slaves, the prosecutor argued, according to the court order. In the messages reproduced in the court order, the woman tells Tate that she's being asked to make videos for TikTok. Just do it, Tate responded. According to the court order, it's simple. Suspects took 50% of the online earnings from the woman who had worked for them, according to the testimony of one of the victims cited in the document, who said that the women were subject to fines if they did not post exactly the content they were asked, or if they were cited, or if they cried during a live session or took too long on a break. This sounds like some sex trafficking to me, sir. Tate and his co-accused said the women were free to leave or call the police. Ask them for evidence and they'll give you none, Andrew Tate said as he was let out of the courtroom on Wednesday after an appeals court upheld a 30-day extension of his detention because it doesn't exist. A man in a video appearance on the Fresh and Fit podcast posted online in March last year, Tate called himself a webcam kingpin. He said that at one point he had 75 women working for his webcam business in 4 different locations, bringing in $600,000 a month. Tate said that in the podcast that he was forced to move his webcam business to Romania from the United Kingdom after armed police raid at his house. One woman, whom he said made him about $25,000 a month, had accused him of assault. He had described flushing his phone down the toilet as police banged down the door but denied the assault. I want to see all the messages. This is gonna be a right wing. Maybe. Known for his own. Oh, I know this guy. This guy's a damn liar. He debated Destiny about this whole thing, and he was lying his ass off. He's convinced that they were loyal. Apparently, an American woman named Emma arrived in Romania on April 6, 2022, called the U.S. Embassy right away. WhatsApp message showed that Emma's mom said, the whole American embassy is on alert. Shame you. Made the brothers believe we are in love. We've made the brothers believe we are in love, the message said. They think we will run back. This person does not show all of the fucking messages. I heard that they were clipped from a broader context, but I'm trying to find the broader context. Okay, this is just an entire article about this Twitter. Let's go on Reddit. We're doing some research. Okay. I'll be in London in a couple days. Tristan and his brother are terrible people. Bringing a girl that's been stuck here with me. Maybe I came here for a reason. Cutting my losses. And we're making a plan to leave. These guys are actually evil. Be very careful. Talk to the American Embassy if you can. Bought girl a ticket. She will transfer money to me. Thanks. Send the whole itinerary. How are you going out of this house? Send the whole itinerary. How will you get out? Do you think he will let you go after investing so much in you? They have a plan for you and the girl. It's very dangerous. I'm going to stay at my friend's when I land in London. And we'll host me for a couple weeks and then get some work and make some money out and go on adventures. I'm a little worried about leaving, but we set our flights up for 6 a.m. He moved me into a house with 4 other girls. 3 other girls have been here for 1 to 5 years and are the groomers. They normalize taking your clothes off and sending them pictures all together. Tristan's brother is dating blank from blank. She's broken up with him, and he texted her telling her if she loves him, she will cut an A into her wrist. His name is Andrew. This doesn't sound like... But Jay, you don't understand. They wanted a Netflix special. This doesn't sound like she was trying to convince them that they love... Tristan's brother is dating blank. Tristan, aka Andrew. Tristan's brother, Andrew, is dating blank from blank. She is broken up with him. He texted her telling her if she loves him, she will cut an A into her wrist. His name is Andrew. They are definitely trafficking women. I told you. Now try to get out of there quietly. Yeah, I'm going to get this girl out. Her name is Aliona. Hi, Dad here. Stop your messages now. Go low-key as you are in a very dangerous situation. This is a secure chat. They don't check the phones. I'm actually in the best position to be able to get out right now. The other girls might tell them, though. We're going to leave when they're sleeping. These girls are brainwashed. They don't do anything except stay at the house, and if they leave, everyone has to know. There are handlers too. Thankfully I'm out of the house with Tristan. I asked to leave to one of the other homes. Blank, please don't think you're more clever than these guys. Keep a low profile. Please be careful how you're getting to get your needs. Don't display your aggression that you have. You will not win. Get to London and come back to safety. We will get the tickets. Tristan let her go. Thanks. No worries. We can get ticks. You shouldn't have to worry about the money. This is my fault. But I'm glad I came because there's another young girl here. That definitely needs my help. Blank, I know, but you're not getting your help with the situation to help anyone who is now at risk other than yourself. Now we should be in total survival mode. Get low key and you're not going to be able to help anyone but yourself. I'm being very realistic. Wake up to your bad situation with no heroics. We just need you to be safe where you can really consider your actions that put you at risk every day. I know the situation. It'll be okay. The best way to approach this is calm and nonchalantly. That's survival. I'll be okay. I just wanted to keep you in the loop. This does not sound like the It's on the far right at the top. The middle brothers made... Okay. Here, I'm getting to it. Nonchalantly, it'll be okay. Just wanted to keep you in the loop, give you updates. We should be in London by the 12th. Okay, but be ready just to be in transit. We need you back home to really have really in-depth talk. I'm still your loving dad, and as mom always wanted, as your best friend. Enough of worrying. Okay, I'm going to bed now. I'm talking to blank. It's going to be okay. I love you both. Well, that's really assuring. Tell me what's really going on. I've told you what's going on. I'm remaining as calm as possible. I also don't have a big belief that they'll stop us from going because we've made the brothers believe we're in love. They think we will run back. My main concerns are coming from things the girls are saying. It's a lot to explain, but we will be out of here. Are you for real? I don't think that they care as much if we leave anyway, which is why I feel okay. Sort of okay. A lot of the girls have been brainwashed here. Bear, look, I know you can believe handle this. I'm not too concerned. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave. It's more of the girl I'm with. I think she's with the bottom bitch, or at least one of the other ones, because there are other girls that are helping run this situation, because 4 of them were arrested. Keep in mind, it wasn't just Andrew and Tristan. A lot of girls seem brainwashed here. I'm not so concerned. I also want to go to London to see one of the girls and gather evidence. We're going to send it to the FBI. So much for honesty. Okay, I got this on my own, and I want to go to London and finally enjoy my trip. Thanks for the chat. Just wanted to let you know what's happened. You aren't the only ones who know my location and where I'm at. Everything will be okay. Please don't address this. Please don't add stress to it at all. I love you both, and will be unharmed and safe. I just know how important it is for you to the situation I got myself into now. I really wanted to travel and have a new love, have fun, and make good money playing music and see more of the world. So I want to go to London just to finally have that experience. It's a good opportunity for me to do that. So let's go back to that article that's taken from this Twitter thread. What did he say? Because I know that this motherfucker here is a liar. Can it take me directly to it? We doing some investigation tonight, boys. Okay. Yup. I think I'm starting to piece it together. Let's go to the next slide. So if anything happens, get the hint that I'll go to the embassy. And I'll give you guys my big brain, obvious fucking take. Embassy and get it expedited. So keep that focus. How will you get to the embassy's help if you didn't contact them on your arrival? Another thing that you've missed. Call 112 embassy. They're waiting for your call now. Thanks, Mom. Like I said, I want to go to London. We'll be okay. If I feel like it won't work preemptively, I'll make the call and do the right thing in the situation. Right now, we both want to be in London. I can't listen to the voice message. Go to London, but why have all the American embassy on alert? You're causing a major upheaval because the Marines and all American squad is on the go now. Get Emma, fuck it. You called, I didn't. Mom, I want to leave London. You called, that's on you. Tell them to come Tuesday when we leave. Then they can see. So it sounds like they were trying to escape. They're trying to find a way to escape without setting everything off. So when they were with Andrew and Tristan, they played into the thing that was already established that she was in love with them, which is why Andrew Tate said, if you really love me, you'll carve an A into your wrist. She didn't say that to him. He said that to her because the method that he was using to convince the girls to stay there was to convince them that they were serious about marriage and that they wanted to be in love and stay together or whatever. So in a way to try to double that down and continue the manipulation, Andrew Tate says to this girl, if you really love me, carve an A in your wrist, whatever. Cool. So In order to use that to escape in the most nonchalant way possible, she replays into that notion that they're in love in order to gain the trust so that they don't care that she's gonna leave. Because if she gets up and starts acting like they don't love each other anymore, then it's gonna set off some alarm bells and be like, oh, she's acting all weird or whatever. So it was survival. And then the embassy claim seems to, in the conversation with the mom and the dad that this girl's having, I don't know who called the embassy, but it looks like the mom must have called or something, even though the girl didn't want that to happen because then she was going to put everyone on high alert. We'll be okay. Right now we both want to be in London. See attached, audio, da-da-da. I can't listen to the voice message. Blank, go to London, but why have all the American embassy on alert? You are causing a major upheaval because the Marines are all American squad is on the go now. Fuck it, Emma, fuck it. You called. I didn't. Mom, I want to leave London. You called, that's on you. Tell them to come Tuesday when we leave. So I guess her mom called the embassy. Then they can see everything. Look, if you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. I want to go to London. Started a call. How dare you put me in danger like that? You called, not me. Go to hell, Emma, with your arrogance and ignorance and bullshit. Go to what is stopping you? The whole American embassy is on alert. Shame on you. These motherfuckers clipped this so out of context. Yeah, it sounds like she wanted to get to London to make sure all the girls can get out and he will go away for the rest of his life. And somebody, I guess Emma, called the embassy too early. That's your fault. Thanks. Leaving now will be up to those who control your life to their gain. Have you not seen the cost of humanity? It is not just me here, you idiots. There's another young girl here. F you both. You're both ignorant. I should have never trusted you with this information. F off. Okay. Don't bother me personally anymore. No need for this. Blank, blank. I left. Blank. Sometimes it's prudent to just look at life as we all have to. When you get out of the shit that you got yourself into, maybe you only have yourself to blame. I'm sure that you have your own ideas as to own problems. I'm also a suffering guy coping over the last years. Blank. Sorry, didn't finish. Try to focus on yourself. Have your own brilliant. Blank. Just had a call from the embassy. You are to approach any military personnel to gain more weight. At the airport, you should be on the way to keep me informed. You deleted this message. I promise I'll call them tomorrow. Is that okay? We can do that. We can meet them tomorrow. Just get to the airport now. You're in a lot of trouble and you have to do as you are told for once. I'm way near. You're safe. Just tell whoever you are with that will allow you to go is the best solution. Okay, so whenever they call the embassy, now they know that they're going to crack down on them, which makes their escape impossible because the police are just going to come to the airport now. Wow, lots of victim blaming in this exchange. Yeah. Just tell everyone they know we will leave tomorrow. I promise, Dad. With my heart, I wanted out anyway. I just didn't need to go to this length. Yeah, so the girl who's been involved in this wanted to get out nonchalantly, but someone, either Emma, I don't know what the relationship with Emma is, maybe it's her mom or someone, called the embassy in advance, which put her whole plan up in smoke. Because now the embassy's on alert and they're going to be notifying them that the police are going to show up there tomorrow or something or whatever. So now they can't just escape by nonchalant means. They have to let them know, like, you have to let us go because the embassy's coming and the law enforcement's coming or whatever. And she didn't want it to explode it to this part because now she's aware that this whole thing has to be a legal proceeding now because the government's involved, where she just wanted to get to London and just go on vacation. I'm quite exhausted after this, and I'll call them tomorrow and meet as promised to go to their office. I love you both so much. The brothers are traveling at the moment, which is why I planned it this way. Can I please go to sleep? I'll keep my promise and go to the embassy tomorrow, and I'll make it there. I haven't slept all night. Just get it done without any of your arguments, not getting anywhere. Time to get yourself to the way. way of the world. I promise. I understand what you've done. I understand why you've done what you have. Yeah, I think her mom called the embassy. I love you both dearly. I just wish I had more control of the situation because I'm in it, you know what I mean? We could have sorted it out together instead of doing this the way it really hurts me. The texts before weren't from you, as you know. We'll see tomorrow's outcome, my friends. We will get you. They're all from me, Mom. All of these texts have been from me. I'm so serious, I swear to God. I was being serious in my messages. That's why you did that. I don't know. You don't know how much danger I believed I was in and how painful that was. Cool, because she was scared out of her mind that something was going to happen to her if the government's notified about it. Now let's go. Good advice, thank you, man. How far is the food, by the way? Are you hungry as me? We'll talk more tonight, too. Alonia. And the prize for Best Actress is going to Emma. Yeah, I'm starving. I can't see though because the app's not showing me. Image omitted. I need to work a bit. I like to post some more TikToks. A golden Oscar now, please. Fuck Globo? I don't know what that means. LMAO. Once I get famous and rich, I'll make sure to get one for you. I'm just wondering how late we can stay up now. Because Blank is constantly listening. That's one of the brothers. Can't wait to watch you in all the movies. You're literally famous in my eyes. Well, we'll see how we do it later. I can't believe you've been alone and all this shit. I'm really happy I'm here with you, honestly. Lol, what do you mean? Me too. It just means you're a badass. And I kind of ignored my family and I haven't speak out about this with anyone because let's be honest, it's fucking crazy. So she is the girl from the original text is now talking to some of the other girls here about, or I think just Aliona about their situation before she talks to her parents, I think. This was the same day. This was 11 p.m. This is 10 a.m. So this is this morning before she comes out to her parents and notifies them about what's going on. Okay, so we're gonna start. Where does the 8 a.m. start? Okay. Yeah. I don't know where they'd get the others. Maybe from your Insta. Like with Claude, it's okay. It doesn't matter, honestly. Don't. It's a new account. Don't. Tomorrow, I got it. Oh, wait, no. This is the next day. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. We're investigating. It's fucking crazy. But, like, now you got here, and I think it's crazy. I feel like you're literally a sent from God because you remember me so much as a friend. And because she was Asian, which is a good portion of the person. Same here, I haven't talked to anyone either. I'm happy we've met. I'll protect you and make sure we get out of here safely. I promise. And not because she was Asian, stupid me, I'm sure we can do this. Get out of this fucking mess. If we make them believe we are in love, they will not suspect us of leaving whatsoever. These motherfuckers said that they were trying to trick them into believing they were in love so that they could frame them for something? They're tricking them to play into the lover boy shit that they were doing to them so that they could convince them to leave. Without it looking suspicious. Or if they find out what we do, they eventually will. They won't chase. They believe we're coming back, or at least try to come back. That we're obsessed with them. Yeah, I told you to be saying a nice message yeah, I told you to be saying a nice message and that we're hurt or shit like that, and we do love them, but we just don't like the situation. So they will not think we are really against them, you know? Yeah, that's smart. Play the victim. I mean, we are, but act like we love them and stuff. Ha ha ha. I mean, we are. Wait, but what? But maybe I just tell them I take off today. Lol. Yeah, just take off. So I don't have to play. Yeah. We didn't... didn't we decide on that? Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Silly me, oops. But, yeah, the thing is, it didn't go live yesterday. The thing is, I didn't go live yesterday either. Okay, fuck it, we're leaving tomorrow. But fuck it, yeah. Who the fuck cares if they get mad? Fuck them. And fuck this place. I just don't want them to get suspicious. It'll only be that way if we let them believe that we're fine. We don't even stress. No, don't even stress it, babe. It's pretend it's something. Pretend it's another day. You're just tired. I don't know where they'd get the others. Maybe from your Insta. Like with clothes. It's okay. It doesn't matter, honestly. Don't. It's a new account. Don't. Tomorrow. Got it. Ha. Nobody knows about it now. Don't do anything about today. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Our song. Don't be suspicious. Oh my god, I realized within the past 12 hours, we realized this is trafficking. We lived in the mentality of trafficked women, believed we had the U.S. Embassy and Marines and the FBI about to break into this house, took selfies with bread, and had a few panic attacks, and now we're sitting here smiling and acting normal. Oh my god, I know, this is so crazy. Oh my god, I realized within the past 12 hours, we realized this is trafficking. We lived in the mentality of trafficked women, believed we had the U.S. Embassy and Marines and FBI about to break into this house, took selfies with bread, and had a few panic attacks, and now we're sitting here acting normal. They literally said we realized this is trafficking. What? These motherfuckers aren't conspiring. You think that this is conspiracy? What are they conspiring? Where has there never been a mention of, oh, we're really about to carry out this plan, y'all. We really about to get these motherfuckers we really finna lie on these motherfuckers. And I was enjoying the time too. She said we realized that this was trafficking. In clear words. Oh my god, I realized in the past 12 hours we realized this is trafficking. I know, this is so crazy. I can't. What the hell? I can't even. We're so good though. We need a fucking Oscar. Let's go. Let's just play it cool. And change my name so it'll not start with an A. Got it. Lol. Interesting fact. When I was to check blank, I was like, are you okay? And she was sleeping, and she said she's not able to sleep. Oh, fuck. I don't think that she heard anything because we put music, but it's just crazy. She was one of the ones who smoked those cigarettes. Thank God we played the music. Thank fucking God. I don't think so. She'll never touch blank cigarette. It's blank we're talking about. She steals people's stuff. She's stolen from blank plenty. Blank will beat her. The other girls, trust me. How would she know they're blank? And how would find out? We awake. We leave. Have you ever gotten an Uber from here before? Yes. She probably thought she had it in the bag. What? So this looks to me like these girls were confiding in each other because they realized the situation that they're in and they're trying to escape. And these motherfuckers clipped that shit out of context and said, this motherfucker thinks it's a dub because he said, oh, they don't really care if I leave. Let's see. Framed. What the hell, Elma? Your ignorance and bullshit. clips this out of context. It's your fault. This is pre-planned to take the brothers out. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? So before the possibility of being trafficked, he had already contacted. This is April 6th, 2022. I wonder why this says April 6th, 2022, even though this says... Maybe that's when they actually got the message, because this is April 10th, 2022. This all these conversations take place in between the 10th and the 11th. Wow. Talking about they had complete autonomy. I know you don't believe this, but I'm not too concerned. Tristan, they don't really care if I leave because we made the brothers believe we're in love. They think we'll run back. Like, what's da-da-da. Main concerns are coming from things the girls are saying. They had complete autonomy. They could leave. They could come and go as they please. Oh my god. They weren't saying that in general they don't care about they leave, because the entire context that they leave out is of people trying to do everything they can to make sure that they aren't suspicious of them leaving. If they had full autonomy, they could come and go as they please. Why would they be so concerned in the context of the messages of making sure they aren't alerted to the fact that they're trying to leave? The reason why it says Tristan doesn't really care if we leave is because they're trying to believe, they're trying to play into the whole act of them being in love with each other so that if they leave somewhere, they won't care because Andrew and Tristan think that they're just going to come back because they said that they love them so much. That's the context of the thing, and these motherfuckers took this and say, oh, they had complete autonomy. When the girl quite literally says, we realized this was trafficking in the last 12 hours. Wow. I practice playing dumb. I'm gonna pull some tears out. These motherfuckers literally clipped this up and took it out of context. To try to... This nigga is a fraud. Suleiman Ahmed, you're... Wow, that's crazy. I knew that this nigga had a screw loose when it came to this, when he was talking with Destiny, because he was lying his ass off about a bunch of things and trying to pull the race card on Andrew Tate, as if this is some incidents of systemic racism because this motherfucker with millions of dollars and bunch of cars was trafficking women. And these motherfuckers took jokes saying, let's email Netflix or whatever for the performance that we just put on, as them saying they wanted to actually legitimately get a Netflix special. The girls brainwashed the Tates into... Wow, that's hilarious. Thank you. They could not come and go as they please. That is exactly the reason why they had to fake loving the Tates. Don't you see? Wow. You're for real? Wow. I can't believe this shit. I just read these messages, and these are clearly the message. Bear and Emma are the same person. The messages with no name are her mom and dad. Alonia is the other victim. Emma is trying to help escape with her. It looks like this is what started the trafficking investigation. She told her parents what was going on, and they contacted the embassy. Shout out to Emma for looking after Alonia and helping her, even though her parents wanted her to just look out for herself. I understand the parents' position, though. They're afraid of for their daughter and just want her to get out safely. But again, shout out to her for looking for the other girl. P.S. Tate fanboys got their hands on these messages and circulated edited versions. They're only showing the messages where the two victims are talking about being good actresses and making Tate believe they were in love with them to claim claim that the women were trying to frame him. It was clear from the edited version that this wasn't the case, but the full context is zero debate. There were victims planning escapes, not trying to frame Tate. They just wanted to let you guys know because their fanboys around there claiming that he was framed. Y'all are for real. You took messages where the surrounding context of people planning their escape and they're using all the levers available to them to try to reassure Andrew and Tristan that they love them so much that they'd never go anywhere. So much so that when they do leave the house, they won't even be suspicious because they're afraid of what might happen to them if they get caught. In trying to say that they brainwashed the Tates into believing. This alone is gonna get them blown the fuck out in court. And you're telling me that there is no case here, they're being framed? Really?
Two eyes and use your own mind. The Tate brothers have been framed.
There's a news story unfolding that the mainstream media seems to be silent on. It's on what I call the two underwear.
I just read everything that they're about to talk about, so let's see what bullshit they get into.
Wearing in public, I don't know if they're strippers, the U.S. and the U.K. girl. Evidence is coming out that they plotted and planned a setup. They literally acted as if they were in love with the brothers. They applied what I would say they applied this lover girl method. The text showing them plotting to frame the brothers. You also talk about how they schemed on what to say, how to lie, how to cry. You know, they bragged about is it true winning an Oscar performance to get on Netflix. And the question is, will the Romanian prosecutors prosecute what we say these?
The most annoying and satisfying feeling is when you prove someone wrong by reading the same thing they did. Perfect. Love doing this shit. Mind you, I'm pretty sure these text conversations came from the court document, which means that in the document submitted to the court, in order to give the judge justified reason to keep them in jail, these messages were in there. The prosecutors had these messages, and they went forward in pursuing them because it's quite clearly women acting under the stress of the situation to try to get out of the situation by making sure that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate believe that they're actually in love with them, so they're not suspicious when they try to leave. Mainstream media is a fat-ass red flag.
Two shaitans.
Yeah, they are shaitan for sure. I mean, we'll see, brother. I mean, legally, I can't talk about certain things that are going on, but obviously anything I've put out publicly, I can go into that. And
I'm making a response to this dude. I don't even feel like watching the rest of this video.
In great detail. I mean, we've got, hey, they're, oh, don't worry about it, Mom. We're good. Please don't cause any trouble. Like, as the parents were trying to call the embassy, the U.S. embassy, figure out what was going on. And they jokingly were saying, "Oh, it's all good, Mom. Don't worry about it. We're good."
They were jokingly saying, "It's all good, Mom. Don't worry about it." I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You're lying straight to my face. Tristan and his brother are terrible people. Tristan and his brother are terrible people. Bringing a girl that's been stuck here with me. Maybe I came for a reason. Cutting my losses and we're making a plan to leave. These guys are actually evil. Jokingly saying, "It's fine, don't call the embassy." How are you getting out of the house? 1 to 5 years, they normalize taking your clothes off. The parents are here concerned. Because they're like, we need to call the embassy, maybe, or whatever. How are you going to leave? We just want to make sure that you're safe. We're going to send it to the FBI, you need to just save yourself, or whatever. And then they call the embassy. And she's mad because she's like, it's not just me here, you idiots. There's some other younger girl. F you both. This is ignorant. I should have never trusted you with this information. You think she's talking to her parents like this out of a joke? And the comedy part comes in when she's talking with her friends about how, oh, yeah. So how is it comedy when this girl is literally saying these people are actually evil? They're keeping people here for 1 to 5 years. They're trying to normalize taking your clothes off in order to try to, like, socialize you into believing that all this stuff isn't weird. And I really want to make a plan to leave. I just want to go to London. So we see that as comedy, but the part where they're laughing about how good they just acted in order to keep a low profile, that's for real, and they actually are trying to get a Netflix series off of this, and they're trying to frame them. You see the mental gymnastics that you have to employ to be an Andrew Tate fan? Wow. This was supposed to be a study stream as well, but I think I'm going to finish reacting to whatever's left of this bullshit and then go about my day.
Even any time, and all this stuff is there, as clear as day. And for me, it's insanity. We do live in the world of shaitan, obviously. So they're just gonna be, the truth. We don't need that. So the mainstream media has this narrative. They're trying to push the human trafficking, but then the evidence, because always the truth prevails. The truth prevailed, and it's like, actually, that wasn't true. Okay, let's try to go over here. But the thing that frustrates me the most about this whole thing, I mean, obviously, I am biased because he's a good friend of mine, but secondly,
that explains that.
There's all this evidence out there that proves the complete opposite. And now these text messages, it literally proves that the lover boy method happened, but it was actually lover girl. They were sitting there acting like they were serious and all that. Oh, okay, I will come out. I think you might be the one. Like talking to them, convincing them that they actually cared about them.
Crazy, because didn't I just read? I want to know that you're determined, serious about marriage. Yes, I'm serious, the woman replied. After arriving in Romania, prosecutors say the victims were brought to a property where Tate produced internet pornography. So he asked, are you serious about marriage or whatever? She's like, yeah. I don't know which woman this is, but she's like, yeah, I am. And then they take him to the house and they're making pornographic content. I'm in the house. I feel a bit strange. I wish you'd tell me exactly what's going on. What do these girls do exactly? They work for OnlyFans, which is another lie. Do they get naked? No, just a bikini. I thought I'd come here and live with you, she wrote the next day. A little strange to have me in the girls who work for you. But this was the lover girl method. Are you fucking for real? I'm going to chop this up and put it on TikTok. I'm going to enter my Tate Investigation arc, and I'm also going to make a response to that TikTok. So whenever someone tells you, yeah, I don't know, but Andrew Tate's being framed, know that they're a fucking moron. Yeah, imagine being friends with the guy. This is someone who literally fled the UK after they raided his house and bragged about how lawless Romania is. And you're telling me he was up to nothing? This is all just conjecture? In a message reproduced in the court order, for instance, the Moldovan woman says she was thinking about going into town. No, Tate writes, going out alone without telling me, mall, supermarket, nowhere. From now on, it's the last warning. Investigation against the brothers was triggered last year when the U.S. Embassy in Bucharest tipped off Romanian police that a 21-year-old American citizen was being held against her will in a property belonging to the Tates. This is the girl who we were reading the messages of. Konstantin Ion Gliga, a lawyer on the defense team, says has parts of messages disseminated to the public exaggerated, distorted interpretation of some harmless discussions in private environment. Defense lawyers point out that the two Romanians described as injured parties in the case have spoken in favor of the Tates, saying they are not victims. The post was unable to reach the other women who are named as victims, which is probably some of the women who the girl who tipped off the embassy was talking about, in like them conditioning the other women and being really weird and some of the shit that the other women are saying. They had tattoos of him. And we know that that's backed up because he says earlier, if you love me, in the messages, if you really love me, then carve an A into your arm. He literally said that shit, so we know that there are certain women who have been brainwashed or have been indoctrinated into the system where they do things like put tattoos on them or carve stuff into them, whatever, to show their loyalty to Andrew, because he's literally said it before to this girl. No going out to the supermarket. The American victim met Tristan Tate on Reddit in 2001. According to the court order, Tate presented himself as exactly what she wanted in a lover. The prosecution argued someone educated, creative, respectful. Spent 2 weeks together. He spent a week together with Tristan Tate was on a trip to Miami, and later the idea of visits to Romania turned into the idea of moving, the court order said. One of Tristan's rules for her in Romania was, you never talk to anyone unless I introduce you. Messages between the two show, Romania is my world. No friends from the outside, he wrote. When the woman arrived in Romania, Tristan Tate told her that she wouldn't be able to leave, and if she managed to, he would make sure that she would return to Romania. The court order said, citing her statement, if she asked the armed guards to leave, they told her they did not speak English, she said, according to the court order. She said she did not call the police because Tristan Tate scared her. She said that she did not call the police because Tristan Tate scared her and told her that he had surveillance cameras everywhere in the house, according to the court order. He would text her when she went into the living room, she said, to show that she was watching at all times. Tristan Tate defense argued that he had a fun week with the women in Miami, but he did not suggest that she move to Romania. I really wanted to see Romania, and you be the one to show it to me, she wrote to Tristan Tate in April last year, but she also said what she didn't want to do according to the court order. I can't show my body on OnlyFans, sorry. I want to keep it just for you. And then he tried to force her to do sex work, which would meet the standard of deception, which is needed to prove sex trafficking. This isn't even close to debatable. And now I gotta watch this egg-headed fuckwit talk to me about how actually they're trying to pull a Uno reverse card and actually frame them.
I'm out there. They're staying at the house, living their best life, posting their shaitan, very haram TikTok videos, and just enjoying life. And then they're actually plotting the whole time. So
wow.
So at this point,
so we have the first thing that was a red light, where you imagine now someone comes into your house, you got cameras all over, and they come in and they steal your stuff, and now you can clearly identify who did it, you can clearly identify what they stole, but now the prosecution doesn't want to use this footage, for example. Now flip that, if we're understanding this correctly, you have footage of everything that's going on in the house, but the prosecutor now is not using.
I want to look at what they're talking about with this footage. This is the raid video. Not allowed. Women must stay in the house. He literally says the shit. Like, Loverboy method of human trafficking, which Romanian authorities allege Tate employed in the Okay. I think, because I'm tired. It's pretty conclusive that the messages we just read are quite evidently that after the Tate brothers having employed the Loverboy method, these women who were ticked off to what the hell was going on in this situation and wanted to leave, made their attempt to leave as nonchalantly as possible by keeping on the act that they were in love with each other. As we saw, the girl who eventually their parents ended up taking off the embassy, said that Tristan Tate was everything that she wanted in a lover. And he presented himself as someone that she could actually be romantically involved with. But upon moving to Romania, she realizes, oh shit, this is weird, this is trafficking, these people are evil people. So she continues to keep up the talk of, yeah, we're in love, da-da-da, in order to gain enough trust so that if her and the other girl that she was trying to save were to leave, that they wouldn't be suspicious and then they just assume that they're going to come back. She didn't say, oh, they don't care if we leave because they just let us wander out when we do. She kept reiterating, they'll think we'll come back. They'll think we'll come back. They just think we're going to come back. It's going to be fine. They think we're going to come back. Which is not something you'd say if you had free reign and free movement. And the embassy got ticked off because her parents, who she notified of the situation that she was in, got worried for their daughter and notified the embassy against her will. Because she wanted to make a nonchalant exit that wouldn't put her in danger, but she feels her parents put her in danger by ticking off the embassy to it. Because it was only a matter of time before Andrew Tate and them found out. And then, at the end of the conversation, they were chuckling back and forth to each other about how good they acted in order to try to make their escape nonchalantly. They weren't saying, oh yeah, we're plotting this thing on them. No, she literally says, we realized in the last 24 hours that we were being trafficked, all this stuff, now we're just sitting here talking like it's normal. And these motherfuckers clipped that and thought it was, yeah, they're just actually trying to frame Andrew. It's crazy. It's so crazy how badly these people will lie to you. Will lie to your damn face. Because none of them read all these text messages.